3, 2. Hey, welcome everybody to Biz Chicks TV. This is the place to be for tips, tools, and strategies to help you build a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today, like every Thursday, we have Robin Shimizu who comes in and shares tips for optimum health in your business. Because without good health, you will not have any wealth. So today, Robin is going to be sharing all about gut health. And we want to thank you for tuning in live on YouTube, tuning in live here on Facebook, and also for watching the replay. Thank you so much. And without further ado, Robin Shimizu. Hey, Robin, welcome. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Francine. So good to see you guys. I was thinking what would be good to do today is to review gut health. We went over it, I would say a good 6 months ago. So I thought, it'd be good to review it. And there were a few things I wanted to add that I thought would be super simple for people to do to take care of their gut. Just as a reminder, I went to this blog and it's called the Mind Body Green blog. And it has a compilation of many, many people that are experts in their certain field. And in this particular presentation, I've got blogs from probably half a dozen different people who are experts in their field. And so we're going to go through it pretty quickly because there's a lot of stuff to cover, but a lot of it is review. Some of it is new. So people need to know 60 to 80% of your health, or well, actually your immune system is created. Let me see, how do I say this exactly? 60 to 80% of what is wrong with us, chronic diseases that are wrong with us, usually starts in our gut. That's a huge important and we don't take care of our gut as much as we think we do, because people think that, okay, I have diarrhea, gas, bloating, I have gut issues. Well, it actually is deeper than that, because your gut health is actually linked to hormonal imbalances. So if your gut is not healthy, your hormones can be out of balance. Autoimmune diseases, diabetes, chronic fatigue, fibromyalgia, anxiety, depression, lots of chronic diseases. A lot of times when you go into the doctor and you get the good, or it's not clear what's wrong with you, the doctor will automatically put you on a probiotic because they know that your gut health is you should start. So I just sort of named off a bunch of things that if you have any of these conditions, or you think you might have some of these conditions, let's look at your gut health. And it's actually pretty easy to start taking care of your gut. Now, this was really interesting to me. Some mistakes that we make when we're not eating well for our gut is they're saying there's few things that you should not do. Snacking all day long apparently is not good for your gut. And they say snacking isn't good because the foods that we snack on tend to be foods that are not necessarily good for you. So they say you should go have a window of not eating from 4 to 6 hours between meals, so that your gut can have time to digest all of the foods that you're putting in there. The second thing they said, and this is shocking to me, is eating yogurt and thinking by eating yogurt, you're taking care of your gut. A lot of people think that. I talk to a lot of people about their health and wellness, and they'll say, well, that's okay. I eat my yogurt every day. Well, you have to be really careful what kind of yogurt you eat, because a lot of yogurt is not the live kind of bacteria that you want. And also it's filled with sugars and other things that aren't necessarily good for you. And some people are lactose intolerant. Some people can't tolerate the dairy. So relying on yogurt isn't necessarily the best way of taking care of your gut. I've also talked to people say, oh, I don't worry about that. I drink kombucha and I do this and I do that. And, you know, they have an answer for their gut health. And you can actually drink too much kombucha. You can actually take in too much of those kinds of, the bacteria that's in kombucha is good, but not to the degree where you can overdose yourself on kombucha, which I thought, oh my goodness, I didn't realize you can actually drink too much of that. Mm. And so consuming too many gut healthy processed foods is not a good thing, like the yogurts and tons of sugars and even probiotic drinks and sugar heavy kombucha. So be careful on what you take in that regard.
So it sounds like it needs to be more of a holistic approach and not just a one shot. Okay, I'm going to work on gut and I'm going to eat this, thinking that that's going to fix it. It needs to be a well-rounded approach is what I'm hearing from you.
And I think that's generally what every week when we talk about our health and wellness, it's always this. It's a holistic way of looking at how we take care of our health, and it always includes really good foods. It's kind of funny. It's all related, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I don't know. You've heard the term leaky gut?
Yes.
And people, you know, I mean, you don't even know if you have leaky gut, really. But leaky gut is what happens is that the junctions in your gut start to break apart, and then proteins and things that are supposed to stay in your gut actually start spilling out into your bloodstream, and that's how come it starts affecting your health, because then your body starts attacking those things in your bloodstream. Then they start trying to get antibodies to attack those things that are spilling into your gut. So we have to keep our gut healthy, and a lot of our chronic diseases are caused from leaky gut, even allergies and things like that, because your body is actually fighting against itself.
Wow.
Because of the way that your gut is not healthy. And the main causes for leaky gut are the foods that we eat, because a lot of foods and infections cause leaky gut, and toxins. And so we'll talk about that. Gluten is probably one of the most important things to eliminate out of your diet if you have any gut issues.
Right.
So we do elimination diets to try to discern what is causing your ill health. Lots of sugars, excess alcohol. Those things can cause leaky gut, of course. I mean, we all know sugar and alcohol is not good for our bodies, but in moderation is fine. And toxins come in the form of medications like Motrin, Advil, steroids, antibiotics, acid-reducing drugs, environmental toxins, mercury, pesticides, BPA. Those kinds of things also contribute to, your leaky gut. So if signs that you have leaky gut are such things as our normal gas, bloating, diarrhea, irritable bowel, allergies, and asthma, hormonal imbalances, autoimmune diseases like rheumatoid arthritis, Hashimoto's thyroiditis, lupus, celiac disease, diagnosis of chronic fatigue and fibromyalgia, mood and mind issues such as depression, anxiety, ADD, ADHD, wow. Skin issues such as acne, rosacea, eczema, and just food allergies in general. So people that might have allergies might be suffering from leaky gut and they don't know it.
Wow.
But they're dealing with all of the allergy symptoms, right? So you're dealing with the symptoms, but you're not dealing with the cause. So what we want to do is we want to restore the beneficial bacteria in your gut. We're going to talk about how to do that. So the other thing, so I mentioned bad things, antibiotics, lower, So they're saying that one of the things we haven't talked about in terms of our gut health is our lifestyle factors. So physical activity, there again, we go back to moderation, physical activity, social connectedness, stress reduction. All of these things are really important for taking care of your gut. So again, it's looking at things in a holistic way, right?
Right. And just some of the things that you talked about, we tend to try and do the quick fix instead of trying to do the overall health. We know that sugars are probably not the best thing, like you said, and we need to do better with our choices. Find alternative sweeteners that will not cause havoc in our system, and finding the right foods. And it's amazing that when the kombucha came out, people were like, "Oh yeah, this is the best thing," and you're just downing it like it's going to really be the magic. Terry calls it the magic bullet that's going to fix everything.
Right.
It's not.
It's like everything that we talk about, everything in moderation. So I think kombucha is great, but just don't rely on it taking care of your gut and, all in all, right?
So and what I believe is what you're saying is don't rely on the kombucha to, and you're not taking care of not eating properly, but thinking the kombucha or the probiotics is going to fix everything and gives you a license to keep eating poorly.
That's exactly right. You said it exactly right. So so to eat these foods for better gut health, this is very simple, easy stuff. So we ditch all the fake stuff. We know that. Fake food, fake news, fake food. So ditch the fake stuff to the extent you can. So processed foods are just typically they're not very good for you. They're easy. And sometimes you need to rely on them, but for the most part, try to ditch that stuff. They said add chia seeds. And that's CHIA, right? Chia seeds are really good for your digestive health. There's all different ways you can take in chia seeds. It's so simple and they're very cheap. You just get it at the natural food stores, shake it over your salad, shake it into your foods as you're cooking. There's a lot, and it has very little flavor. They said up your fermented foods like sauerkraut, kimchi, pickles, kefir. These are good bacteria producing foods that will produce really good bacteria for your gut. Whole grains, breakfast cereals, things like that are important. Turmeric. Now I take very little supplements, but I do take a turmeric supplement for a lot of reasons. Turmeric is really good for your not only your digestion, but also your nervous system. I take it actually for my sciatica that I have. Garlic, ginger, cruciferous vegetables like cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, all of those things are really super good for your gut health.
So I'm hearing that we need to just be better about our food choices, be better. Maybe we need to slow down a little bit. There was a doctor that I've been reading his book, Dr. Don Colbert, and he talks about letting food be your medicine.
I was thinking that would be a really good show for us to get somebody here that is a nutritionist that can talk about it in a general sense, because I haven't really talked about that as a subject.
Yeah.
So what I found, which is really fun, was this. There's a certain enzyme, and it's called I'm going to read it to you. L-glutamine. That's L-glutamine, Glutamine, which is the key to repairing your gut. In fact, it is we can get it in a lot of different ways, mostly from food. So L-glutamine is a animal-based food protein. And so it comes from grass-fed dairy, grass-fed beef, and everybody's favorite, bone broth. Now, we haven't talked about bone broth.
No, we have not.
And so I thought, well, this would be fun. So I'm going to put a bone broth recipe up after we're done with this, because I think everybody should be doing bone broth. Bone broth, and we can, I don't know a whole lot about it, but people can Google it and just look it up themselves. Have you ever tried bone broth, Francine?
I think I've had it once before, and if I'm not mistaken, it's where you've cooked. It's like what we used to do when Mom, when you finish having the roast, you took the bone from the roast and you cook it down and you make soup from it.
That's exactly right. And so they were suggesting on the bone broth is whatever you would throw away, like the ends of your carrots, the ends of your onion and your celery and things like that, you throw it into a baggie, throw it in your freezer, just keep collecting this stuff. Chicken bones and beef bones and any kind of bones, throw that into your freezer. And then one day you just throw it all in your crock pot and you just cook it up. And that would be your bone broth. And it's so super healthy for you, because it replaces your collagen for your skin. They're saying that it's kind of like a youth.
A youth rejuvenation, the fountain of youth elixir.
Yeah, and I thought, oh, how simple is that? Now, I don't do that, but I'm going to now that I read this article. I thought, well, that's really super simple.
And see, whatever was old is now new again, because that's what people did before. You didn't throw away things. You would repurpose the food, and you would make a stew out of what was left from the steak or what have you. You used every part of everything. There's a restaurant, and I'm sure there's restaurants locally, but my sister took me to a restaurant in Honolulu, and that's primarily their shtick. They have they have bone marrow dishes, and it was kind of weird, but when I thought about it some more, I thought, well, that's really smart, because people are coming in because they're concerned about their health, and they like the way that the food is cooking up and stuff. So that L-glutamine is really super important, and we can get it just by our foods, which is, I have to take a supplement for it or anything like that, which is exactly. So the whole idea of health is not to take a pill for something that we can do by eating right and moving right, exercising and doing things. You shouldn't have to take a pill for it.
That's right. Because we just have to live our life as healthily as possible. And if you just do that as a good habit and try to do it every day, it makes it so much simpler.
Oh, so make health a habit?
Make health a habit. Oh, yeah, I like that. Hey, that's pretty catchy there, Francine.
Oh, yeah, that's for you, Robin. That is, Robin is, I think that's for you. Make health a habit for your website and your blog and whatever you do, making life a healthy habit. Make health a habit. Make health a habit. Yeah, write that down, because that's what you do.
Okay. And like I said earlier, our gut health is tied to seasonal allergies. Now, who would have thought that, your allergies are caused from a leaky gut?
See, I think you're absolutely right, because when I was younger, I never had a problem with allergies at all. No itchy eyes or any of that. But I can tell when I'm eating something not properly, your nose begins to run, eyes are running, itching, and something I'm eating is not agreeing with whatever's happening. it it surfaces. And they always tell us, get some local honey to eat when the allergies arise. And I guess that will help you fight off whatever is going on, because the local pollination cancels out whatever was happening. But if I have a good, healthy gut, I probably am not going to be plagued with allergies.
And so this particular doctor said, she said, the minute somebody comes into her office and is complaining about allergies, she puts the whole conversation about, well, let's talk about how you take care of your gut. Let's talk about what you eat. Let's talk about that first. So and I've gone to an allergist before, and that's not what that allergist did for me.
Yeah, they normally start testing you and poking you, and skin tests and things of that nature, if I'm not mistaken, but they don't tell you to find out what you've been eating.
Right. And the other thing that I thought was really pretty funny is, well, not funny, but you know how we just want to live our life as happy as possible. Your gut health is actually related to your happiness, your mood, your brain, the hormones that you process for your dopamine and your serotonin, all of that stuff. All of those things are related to your gut health, because your gut will produce and it triggers hormones. And so if you feel depressed, or if you feel anxious, or you feel any of those things, take a look at your gut health.
So you're saying a healthy gut can get us to a happy place.
That's right. And can help relieve stress and all of those other things. And so I pretty much have covered everything I wanted to cover about our gut health. We did went through things very quickly, but I just wanted to remind people, and we can cut the shorter today if we want to, if we don't want to have a further conversation. But try the bone broth. We're going to put the recipe up on our website, and it's super, super easy. Just think about putting your stuff aside and creating this every week. Just make your bone broth every Sunday night, or whatever you want to do. And just make sure that if you do have any issues that is going on with your body, chronic disease issues, take a look at your gut health. It's super simple to take care of. And it's the first thing you ought to be doing.
I think this is really good, because if we stop and slow down, having a healthy gut means you're probably going to need to cook more at home and be controlled, and you take control of whatever it is that's going into your body. And, which means you're going to have to make some changes in your lifestyle to be healthy. Eating out every night is not going to kind of help that.
Yep, that's right.
So what steps can you take to position yourself for better health? That's what we talk about here on Thursdays. Ways that we can remain healthy and take care of what we've been given. You only have one body. You don't get to get another one. You can't take this and hang it on a shelf and let me pick another one. We have to take care of this one that we have. And health can be very simple if we simply eat well, move well, hydrate well, rest well,
sleep. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So when Dr. Lorraine Day had come to an event that I attended here in Sacramento, she said disease comes from 4 different places. Poor nutrition, which is what we're talking about today, having your gut together. Stress, lack of water, and lack of rest. 4 things that we all have control over.
You know, that's a good point, Francine. We do have control over these things. It's just a developing or trying to get better habits. And it does take discipline to do this until it becomes a habit.
Right.
Until it becomes part of your lifestyle.
And
go ahead.
I was just going to say, we need to make health a habit, but you have to make up your mind to make health a habit.
Mm-hmm.
You really, it all starts in the mind. You have to decide that I will be healthy today, and do it on a day-to-day basis. You know, sometimes we try and do, okay, this year I'm going to do healthy eating and whatever. Let's just do today. Today, I decide to make a healthy choice with whatever it is that I put in my body today. I decide today to be healthy.
That's right. And we don't want to complicate things. I mean, that's the thing that I've been trying to do, is breaking this down to a point where it's not scary, it's not hard, it's not complicated. It's really super easy. It's just the beginning with your awareness, and it's never too late. And,
yes.
And so, you know, it doesn't matter how old we are or anything like that. We can always get to a healthier place. Yep. You know, as a young woman, 30, 40 years old, I mean, the whole life is in front of them. But yet here we are. I mean, I'm in my 60s, and health is still super important to me. I want to live to 95 like my mother, and I want to be a healthy 95-year-old woman. I want to still have my faculties, and you know, that's why the brain health. So maybe next time we get together, we'll recap brain health.
Yes,
that's how brain and gut kind of interact with each other.
I think we should, and we're not, and I'm not averse to repeating, because we need to repeat until we do it. That's what school is all about, right? Mm-hmm. We continue and keep going back over things. There's a review because we need to get it in us. If we're still having the same negative results and the same negative, because of the same negative habits, that means we haven't heard it enough to make the shift. And it's okay to repeat.
Okay, so we'll do a recap on brain health. We should probably do a recap on hydration.
And sleep.
You know, all of that stuff, but we'll do that in the future. That would be fun.
I like that, because there's on each of those things: stress, hydration, rest, and nutrition. All four of those we can talk about until we are 120.
That's right.
Because there's so many facets of things within that's going to help us get to better health. So let's talk about that. And if maybe we do those 4 categories, because there's 4 weeks in a month, and then you can nutrition and rest, because we don't do it. I just read some things on rest. I'm like, oh, okay, we need to really revisit that. And then hydration and getting the stress out.
Mm-hmm. Right. Well, I have to admit, I didn't take my cup of water this morning because I was out of bed and on the roll, and I just didn't take the time. So I'm going to go do that as soon as we're done here.
And look, it has to be, we're working on this habit. Like you said, you got to, I put the water, you can probably see it right over here. I put the water container there, but did I pick it up? As I'm walking by it, it's got water in there, and it keeps it kind of cool. And I was like, okay, but I purposely put the water there because I know I need to drink it, but I have to do it on purpose, because sometimes your body is just like, I don't want to do it, but we have to do it. We have to do what's best.
Got to slow down. Like you said, Francine, I like that too, because that's what we need to do. We just need to slow down. And this world is just going way too fast.
And we really, and what are we racing for? Because when you think about it, technically, what are you racing around for? If you really look at your day, do you have to do everything that's in that day? I don't think so. So Robin and I would like to tell you to please take time for your health. and make health a habit. Make your health a habit.
So just to the thing that I found really fascinating today was don't rely on yogurt solely as your gut health go-to product. Try to incorporate the L-glutamine into your diet, which is basically grass-fed meats and beef and bone broth. And it's a pretty simple thing to do. And I think you can actually buy bone broth in the grocery stores now.
You can. And you can get grass-fed butters and all of that is in the grocery store as well. So
and just keep balanced, and remember that if you do have anything going on with you allergy-wise, mental health-wise, chronic disease-wise, think about your gut health first. It's very super simple. We'll put the recipe up in the comment section of today's Facebook Live, or I don't know how we do that, Francie. But
yeah, you can put it in the, you'll be able, we can put it in there. And Karen said, take time for your health. And practice. And Lakeisha says, drinking my youth factor and heading to the gym. So this is repetition is good, Lakeisha says too. So thank you all for tuning in this morning and watching the replay. It was all about your gut. It's a reminder for us that our gut needs to be healthy. Robin will be back next week and to bring us some more information to keep us keeping our habits, helping us on the road to a healthy habits for life. So thank you so much, Robin. Anything you'd like to sign off with?
Just to let people know, next Thursday, very excited because Linda Lee will be with us, and she's going to talk about essential oils and also about how to take care of our pets. So I thought that would be really super fun because most of us have an animal that we take care of, and we can keep them healthy too.
Yay!
Which affects our pocketbook.
Yes, it does. Keep them out the vet if we can. All righty then. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. And don't forget to go to the front of your own line. Terry, we'll be back tomorrow talking all about tech. So tune back in 8 a.m., 11 a.m. on the East Coast.
Thank you, everybody.
Bye-bye.